Indeed. Sub only is going burr. Is it cold? Is sub only cold? Like, what's the story there? Is sub only feeling chilly? I don't understand why we're not drawing anything here. Or there. Anyway. Anyway. How's it going, everybody? I'm going to warm up some water, and then we will continue on the trail of doing a little bit of UI work here. Hello. Ha! Okay. Okay, instead of drawing this here, we're going to say So what I'm doing is I'm working on the code that draws that path that we're going to undo. Like we're drawing the little paths of where people went. And you know, there's just subtleties to it. It's not totally working 100% of the time, which is bothering me. We'll have to unlearn mashing Z. No, you can still mash Z if you want. You can mash Z all you want. It's just that's not the only way to. Okay, so now we're not drawing anything because now we're making these arrays, but we are not then drawing the arrays. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for each retrace. We're going to say my tea water is ready. Yo, yo, yo. Sub-only stream notifications are finally working. No. What happened was I started it as a not in sub-only stream, and then I switched. So, like, if you thought that Twitch somehow works, then I hate to break it to you. It does not. So I don't understand why we're not drawing anything here on this push move. Are we always effing up for push moves or what? Same here. Easy Sag. Easy. I am so sad about how easy the Sag has been. Sag. Like, clearly this guy moves from here to there. So, like, why we are not doing that, I don't know. So we still have a problem drawing things sometimes. And one of the reasons I just did the little refactor I did. So we used to be drawing the points as we pull them out of the undo data. Now I'm storing an array of the things. And I guess we'll find out. like here, my assumption is I mean, I don't really know. We should be pulling the second point out. And anyway, let's see what happens. So what do we get? There's so much code here that we wrote that one day. What do we get here? It only has 1 point. Sucks. Clearly, we're not going to draw anything with 1 point. I do add the position. So we apply the diff. Let's just see what happens here. Make sure there's only one. There is only one. Okay, retraces. Boom. Okay. So here, so it's the same position. So this guy's in 1119. Okay. Okay. So the lack of two head. Yeah. I was getting frustrated last stream. the yeah. Last stream was weird because I was trying to do a very serious, like, let's crank and do this whole thing in one session and it's going to be awesome. And I was doing that. I succeeded at my part. But, like, I was hoping people would be into it and kind of engaged because we were doing a concrete one thing. And even people who I recognize who have been showing up to the stream for a long time were just, like, saying really dumb stuff. So, like, I don't know what to say. Maybe the internet has finally eaten everybody's brain and there's no, it's like the end of Invasion of the Body Snatchers when there's nobody left. That could be how it is. All right. So we're supposedly applying a diff from here. Does it fail? I don't think it should fail, but the position also isn't changing, right? Position has not changed. Success succeeded, but position did not change. But when I don't get it. Let's go here. We're applying the diff. Okay, this item is status flags. Uh-oh. Really? So that means we didn't save a position at all. Also, status flags being set to active or not. It's kind of ass. We shouldn't be saving that. Anyway. It does seem that people are checking out. Do you mean on this channel, or do you mean across the internet globally, or do you mean across the whole universe outside the internet? Across the internet. What does this seem like something that just recently happened, or like a very gradual ongoing thing? Because like I'm interested in what this looks like to people besides me. I know what it looks like to me, but I don't know what it looks like to other people. Like a slow but steady national suicide? Well, kinda. Like, I actually don't think it's limited to the USA. I do think other places are doing better. But I do feel like we somehow Like most people somehow kind of gave up on being smart at some point. It's really weird. It's like people are more, you would think that people would have been more in panic mode last year when all the very peaceful demonstrations were happening and stuff. And I think a lot of people were. But this year, there's something about the mental environment where people have acclimated to it in some way. They're like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like something happened. There's some phase shift where uh, we just realize the information environment is never going to go back to making sense, and so it's more like a free for all now. Isn't it a common thing that any community gets dumber as it gets larger? I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that has to do with it, but maybe people expect to be entertained. Well, that's true. Trump? No, because like Trump ended last year. And the weird fact that people still insist on blaming Trump for everything is pretty strange, right? It's like it's almost the end of 2021. Um, but it wasn't. So from my perspective, it wasn't Trump's declaration of fake news. It was that he didn't have to declare fake news because everybody could see that the news was fake. It was very obvious. Like he wouldn't have needed to say anything. And in fact, back when he started saying fake news, I wasn't paying that much attention to what was going on with him and what he was saying. But then later on, it became very clear that all the news was fake. So wait for deflation. Why do you think deflation and not inflation? Like we're about to print $27 trillion. Which Western countries are doing well in this aspect? I mean, it's hard to say because I haven't traveled anywhere. But it's just a lot of the stupidity that I see on the internet seems to be very American. Of course, that might be just because that's where I live. But I feel like America is the center of the stupidity right now. Fake news thing was him turning that term around on the media. I don't know. It's bothering me. Like, it's almost like I just have to stop paying attention to what's happening on the internet, which probably would have been a good idea to do a while ago, but especially lately, it's really not. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just it went over some cliff recently and I can't see the cliff very well. Let me see what does CNN say about the Southwest Airlines? Oh, nothing. It's not on the front page at all. Southwest Airlines shut down thousands of flights this weekend and stranded tons and tons of people. Why is this not on the front page of CNN at all? Like, how does that not rate above Gabby Petito's fiancé? This is a story that's days old. It's not like breaking. Is it in... Okay, it's here. It's in a tiny line here. More than 1,000 flights. I'm pretty sure it's around 3,000 at this point. Oh yeah, more than 1,000 Sunday. So they didn't add the previous flights. Second day of mass cancellations. Widespread severe weather, which by the way is completely false. Okay, so down here, they're actually covering the actual story, which is the vaccine mandate thing. So the story is on the website. It's just somewhat buried. Like, this is such a huge event, and it's like completely buried. Yes, it is magic weather that only affects Southwest Airlines. It's like this gets front page news because there's a concerted push to censor tech companies now. Like, it's so orchestrated, dude. It's insane. So anti-tech company stories are going to lead every day. Okay. Pro censoring Facebook owned properties specifically, right? There's currently an attack on Facebook owned properties. So that's why this is the top story. We'll check CNN tomorrow and we'll find another one. Oh, look at all the Facebook stories. Anyway, it's so fake, dude. It would be offensive at this point, except I don't think they even care that you know that it's fake. Right? So I don't understand. Let's just cycle through this. So that only had one field change in it, which was the ActiveX. Okay? But, and this is, again, this is index 33. All right? But when I undo it, he moves. So there actually has to be more than that, like, in there. So I want to break here at this really do one undo. Wait, am I doing the wrong? I might be applying the wrong one, guys. I think I'm applying the wrong one. So if we go really do one undo, it's going to be this one. And that's going to fire when I push up. Okay, so what's undo cursor? It's 33. Am I saying undo cursor -1 or something down in the other place? Let's see. So what's in this one? How many actions? Just one? No, 3. Well, queen. Thief. Warrior. Okay. Apply diff. What's item? This is the y coordinate. So maybe I'm doing a -1 in the other place. Let me see. No. I'm really confused. Let's jump back up once and verify this again. This is undo cursor is 33. It had 3 actions. Oh, is it a change? Are we sure? What's the action? Yeah. Yeah. So it's a change. I mean, I think they all are. So I don't, this looks to me like it should be right. So, Here, the position is going to get overwritten. The y coordinate from 23 to 22. And then we have another item. What item is this? The z coordinate. What? Why? That's pretty weird. Oh, of his orientation. That's probably not frickin' worth saving as well. There's so much undue data that we can Weissman score away. So here the w coordinate is going to change to 1 or -1 probably. 1. So much data being saved. Item. Theta current. And then theta target. Yeah. There's so much data in this. Let me get rid of this breakpoint. So that's undo cursor 33. There's so much data. All right, so why are we not getting all the so much data? Undo cursor 33. Record actions should have 3 in it. Yes. Action. Like, I don't get it. We're going to step down into this, and it's going to be bogus. Listen to X64 stream where Casey shares his experience on optimization in programming. Has it led to some new exciting feature ideas for the language? It's more, it hasn't led directly to things. It's more like, you know, sometimes you just try to have a sharper idea of the situation so that you know, so that you can improve your decision making. That's what that was about. It's a long-term thing. It's, you know, we are very actively making our machine language or assembly language programming better. It's probably the best assembly language programming facility in any language right now, scarily enough. And we will continue to improve it. And that was just part of that, is all. Okay, so I'm going to step in here. See, that's already not a long enough string. Like, I don't get this. It's not, because we had like several floats in there. We had several floats in there. Okay, well, let me go back to the previous breakpoint and action.change.diff. Okay, so here, let's get out the pen because Visual Studio is not good at telling us values. Okay. Action. So we have I is 33, right? Number 33. The record is 67779D60. Action is number 0. And it's a change. Wait. Here it's 114. Which actually seems quite large. But like that's way too big, but we can work with that, right? The problem is the union cannot claim, okay, the union cannot say that it's either an official or an unofficial action because it would be illegal either way. So they have to come up with some excuse. They have to come up with an excuse. Sub-only strings a regular thing? Yeah, why wouldn't they be? They're better than non-sub streams because we get to say interesting things. Like that statement doesn't say what is the nature of the staffing problem at Jacksonville Center, right? And dude, the weather report totally clear. Totally clear. You notice that people take things I say the wrong way. I mean, that's the internet. Like the internet is full of people who want to misinterpret you and then get angry, right? And that's part of things having gotten way too dumb. Although that's a longer term phenomenon that's been going on for years. But that's not even really what I mean. Like it's just gotten really frustrating. Like as the view count on the channel has gone up, like the low quality of comments of people coming in, not even people trying to be mad, but just like talking about whatever random programming thing, the quality seems to be going down over time. And that has gotten frustrating for me because if I don't get anything out of streaming, then maybe I'll stop. We have library functions that you can call to serialize and deserialize things, but I think for most purposes, if you want to do a high performance thing, you probably write your own serialization code like we have for this game. Yeah, the first week of programming thing, that is an accurate characterization. But it's first week of programming while also trying to talk like the dude's a badass or whatever, right? Like there was straight up some guy doing that yesterday or whatever day it was. So this is one way, like this appears to work to make quality higher, right? So why not? Yeah, I would bet that the doubling rate for programming stream viewers is probably less than 5 years by a lot, right? It's probably double every 2 years or less. And also, to be very honest, like Twitch is not like what is Twitch? Twitch is where kids with disposable time hang out, right? It's not where like John Carmack hangs out. I don't think. Maybe he does. Happy Thanksgiving. Why are you celebrating Thanksgiving on the wrong day? Something that works out of the box as a starting point. Yeah, we have something like that we ship right now. It'll probably be made better. The thing is, there are some things that you probably need to tell it depending on, like if you give it really obvious data structures, it could just work automatically. But sometimes, what if you have 3 pointers to the same data? Like, how does that get serialized and who owns that and all that, right? Also, I wanted to do a sub-only stream because I'm traveling next week a bit. Although I could probably stream while I travel. It's just you never know. You never know how that's going to go. Does out of the box support versioning? Not currently. We probably will. The question is just what's a good way to do it that isn't like super bloated. Like we want it to be fast and simple and not bloated, right? So like in this game, we serialize stuff. We have several different ways of serializing stuff, and we can pack one of those up and ship it. It's just, I don't really know what's the best level of abstraction for people. Had some problems with generic serialization, like recursive type info thing makes it pretty difficult to do custom allocator stuff. Why? You mean in order to allocate? Do you mean like a custom allocator for the whole serialization operator, or do you mean like custom allocators for specific types? Because allocators are not really supposed to be owned by types. Although I guess I could see, I don't know, I guess I could see like, oh, you wanting to say everything in here is owned by this pool or something. If you have one field on a specific entity that needs some special allocator stuff. I mean, that's sort of a question, right? Is like, how do you map that? Because you don't want to like make an instance of that allocator, right? Like if I'm a game and I serialize out some stuff and then I read it back, and there's some data structure in there that uses a particular allocator that probably is some allocator in the system of my game that I want to map it back to, right? Including the data pointer. With a generic recursive type info routine, it's tricky to get that working. I don't understand what recursive type info has to do with any of this. It just sounds to me like an annoying thing regardless, right? Clone the code. I don't understand. Clone the code, why? Like what? So you mean like what I would say is any code like that that might want to switch allocators between different fields and stuff, it should be explicit about that, and the allocator should be a parameter in some way that it's explicitly tracking. I don't think you should try to like sneakily change context.allocator behind your own serialization procedures back. Like that doesn't seem right. And so if you're just explicit about it, that doesn't sound like the hard part to me. The hard part to me sounds like, how do you know what in the user program to map this back to? If you clone the code, then you can just say in the routine, if it's this field on this entity, use a special allocator. Oh, so you mean, how does the user specify that the allocator is used? I see. So your problem is just like, you've got some library code. The library doesn't know anything about what you as a user are doing, right? So if you just want to use a particular allocator 3 levels down on your thing, how is it going to know that, right? That's the issue. Yeah. No, I get that. And there's several problems of that kind, right? So like the pointer thing I was talking about before is like, what if there's 5 pointers to a particular thing, and one of them like owns the thing and the other 4 just point at it, right? And I know that. But like, how do I tell the serialization code that, right? So that's the kind of thing that's, I think, needs to get figured out, like broadly speaking. And I'm not sure what the best way is to do it. some markup for owning pointers? Maybe, but then you kind of get back, like that's more of a special case. And the general case is just how do you communicate with the serialization library about all these things? And, ideally, I don't know about notes, because the problem with notes is right now, you can't put notes on other people's source code without modifying it, right? So like what I really want to do is give you a data structure and then just call some functions that tells you about the data structure. And then, maybe I just have, if I want to use notes from my own stuff, I could like have a hook that grinds on the notes and calls those functions, right? But notes are not the best thing for, maybe we should have a way to put notes on other people's stuff. That could be a thing too, but we don't have that right now. Anyway, though, yeah, I totally see that that's like the issue. And it's a general issue. I think the right thing to do is just make the code be as simple and forget about it as you can. If the data structures are simple and what people are trying to do is simple, right? But if you want to do something complicated, like use a particular allocator just for this one particular thing, then that's an opt-in scenario where you can add complexity in order to do that, right? But by default, hopefully, glad that I understand that this is a problem and not just you writing code that is too abstract. No, it's like how it's just an information problem, right? It's like your library is trying to do stuff for all data structures, and my code has something very specific it wants for its data structures, and you don't know what that is, right? So, like, that's just a thing, right? Going too far with all these fun language features. Well, I don't know. You mean if you use the general purpose serializer, then you conform to the note convention. But like, right, but my data structures might have other instances of other people's structs in them, right? And then what happens? Maybe that shouldn't be library code. I think this should just get figured out, right? I think we should be able to give people functions that says this thing serializes your data as long as your data isn't super weird, right? Like that should just be a thing that we're able to do. Otherwise, what is all this metaprogramming for, right? That said, of course, I think there's lots of room for lots of different opinions about how data should be serialized, right? And so, like, that's a whole discussion that you could have, but just serializing it somehow, like, just should be doable for the most part. And so some of these issues are things that other languages just like ignore, right? So, like Haskell doesn't care how you want to allocate your memory. And that's, when we add this kind of functionality to a language, it just gives new problems or challenges as well. Having built-in serial is a pretty standard modern language thing. I would assume so. Oh, then if you're saying you copy the data into more data structures using the right allocators, then I don't actually understand what the problem is. Because if you're able to do that, you ought to be able to do it the first time. So I take it back. I don't actually understand what the problem is. Like you were saying, it's because the code is generic, but that shouldn't have anything to do with anything. I don't understand why the code being generic would mean it's harder to do allocators. The actual deserialization happens in library code. Oh, so you mean at user level you copy it. So you deserialize by calling the library, and then you copy specific things? Okay, I see. I understand again. Yeah, that sounds suboptimal, for sure. Is there a reason, like, what about a simple solution like there's some function that says register allocator, where you give it, a particular member of a particular struct, and you say, here's the allocator, like, and then you just check against that. I mean, that's maybe adds a little bit of CPU that you don't want because you're checking a custom allocator list like every time you deserialize something, but maybe that can be accelerated. You considered that and you wrote it off for some reason. Yeah. I mean, that would be like, I haven't tried to sit down and write something like this, so I don't know how it would go. But that would be my first guess, is to give the user just some API like that, and they can do that based on notes or whatever, or they can just write code that calls it. And again, that doesn't really have to be global. It could be, you didn't like the idea of doing a bunch of string compares. It doesn't have to be string compares. Even if the API is they give you the name, then in that call you could look up the type info and get the struct member pointer or whatever, and you could compare by pointer. Like you don't need that. But also, if you did do string compares, keep in mind that string compares are usually fast. And the reason is because the first thing that happens in a string compare is you compare the count. And then if and only if the count matches, do you compare the data. So usually a string compare is an integer to integer test returning false, right? So it's probably a lot faster than string compares in C. Although maybe not. Like I guess it depends on, because the thing about this is you're going to keep comparing until maybe it hits. Like the thing that really makes it faster is that you don't dereference the data pointer, whereas in C you do, and that's a cache miss. Like in C you have to dereference the data pointer to compare the string no matter what. And here, probably the count's in cache, I mean, depending on how things are stored. So that's probably a hit. Maybe. You could have field numbers and then register an allocator to a specific field number. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to hard code integers because then people can't change their stuff, but something like that. Okay, let me go back to this. What is happening? Because it looks like this action.change.diff is actually correct. So why, when we're down here, what is data? Apply diff data. Action. Change. This is a different change. What? What? Why are we at 2? Oh, because we're going backwards. Wait, this is not going to be... Okay. Yes. This is happening. Okay, my code is confused by... It took me this long to figure it out. The ID stored in the thing is the wrong ID. Yeah, it's the clean ID because we switched. Like, I think we switched before this was done. And the question is, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with this? But anyway, even with full forward backward compatibility and all these things, I don't think it actually has to be implemented as string compares anyway. I think it's pretty straightforward not to do that if you are determined not to. Yeah, you can pre-process it into offsets or whatever, but that's in, it's one of those things where you could write the slow version first and get it working and get the features in, and then you could do that later, right? That's all. Okay. So what's going on is the active entity, like I changed it and moved and stuff. So what I think I can do is, yeah. So what happens is when you call undo end frame, it just gets whoever is currently active. And we're looking in here to know who to follow to draw these thingers. And so this is not the best. So what we could do is say, actually, I probably don't need that. So we can only do that if okay, so now we're not actually using that yet. We can do this thing that we were looking at in this other stream in move transaction. Okay, so character index. Actually, let's clean this up. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. So now I should be able to re-record this level with this new informations. Okay. Wizard teleport. Wizard walk 16. Wizard swap. Wizard walk 2. What? Oh, those are 5 teleports, right. Boom. 8 drags. 4 moves. Drag. 6 walks. Push. 5 walks. 2 push. 3 walks. 1 push. 9 walks. So now, this is pretty good. The thing is, I think I want to draw the past and the future. The future. From any given point like this. Although actually, let's I want to draw like a little starting disc. We'll do a little witness Easter egg. Lol. Okay. So, when we do this thing, we're going to add some more parameters. What's it called? I'm in the wrong file. That's why I'm not seeing what I'm looking for. Draw connection segment. Starting dot. All right. We're going to say lateral size is 0.1. So we could vary that. And then we say if starting dot Then we draw a circle. I'm sure we've got so many draw a circle functions. So we have vector 3, 2, we have vector 3. Wait, that's like literally a circle. What the hell is that? Draw a line. Oh, these aren't even the things that I want. All right. All right. Draw connection circle with the parameters. Q0. X equals 1. Y equals 1. Circle radius is going to be 7/3, which is the witness ratio as far as I remember, times lateral size. Color. Okay. And we'll put 30. There's no line radius. All right. I've done so many draw circle routines. Not enough arguments. Wanted 8. Okay. Normal and color. Draw a connection circle. Draw a convection circle. Kek. The witness ratio of the line thickness to the starting circle thickness. Okay, it didn't matter because we never passed true for this argument. So I am fired. Convection circle. Okay. That doesn't quite look right. What is going on? Is it drawing it at a different Z? I think it's drawing it at a different Z coordinate. Yes. Yes, that is the deal. It is a witness puzzle, guys. We just decided not to make a new game. We're just making the witness now. That's all. This should be PA, not Q0. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, now how do we make this professional? We put the little circles on the other things. All right, all right. PB, lateral size. Could splurge and make that 40. We could make this 16. 20, I don't know. Here we go. Shouldn't the starting circle be on the other end of the line? Yeah, actually. Yeah, you're right. Look, okay, I did it okay, though. Okay. This is going to be PA, PB. How's that? How's that? Never mind that it's drawing on top and shit. That's stuff that we could fix later. How does it look with Z movement right now? Probably not good because, like I don't really billboard it correctly. Like, there's a note in the code like we're assuming that the dimensions are world space XY. So if you do Z, it probably doesn't draw anything right now. And that's just something we'll fix later after we figure out if this is really what we want to do and all that stuff. So see here, I can go here and then I can zoom in and go back, 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 forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward. Like it gives it a little more continuity, I think, which is interesting. So now if I draw the future also, I mean, if I really want to be witnessy about this, it should be cyan for the backwards and gold for the forwards. Okay. Let's check that in and we'll make some more tea water. I hope everybody else is working on good things. Everybody. Doing your homework. Well, I hope it is good homework. I hope it is good homework. Glitch cat. It's still early for you. Well, it's never too early to do good things. We can hold off on the good things till like 9 a.m. maybe. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's now peer into the future. Future man. Future man. How close to the end of development was that structure atop the mountain scrapped in Witness? I want to say the last year, certainly. I don't know when in the last year. It's like, so that one, I'll show what people. So this one was, one of several iterations of a thing that I just wasn't super happy with. It was something that was the architect's idea, but I didn't really think that it worked with the game necessarily. So I wanted to do something else. And the thing that we did, honestly, I don't love it. But it at least had more meaning with regard to the game. And, let us build puzzles around it and stuff. If I were to do a director's edition version of The Witness, I think we would try to revise that again. You really like the puzzles on top? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it came out well. A lot of the puzzles came out well. It's just the particular structure doesn't look good enough to me. It's like the architects weren't really into it because it was something I wanted to do. So like, I don't think they brought that much skin into the game to like make, I don't know, like what we ended up with is just a little weird. So, I think someday maybe we look at that. Were the puzzles, I mean, the puzzles got figured out over development. So were the puzzles the same when? Okay. So I'm just making this a little more general. We can pass color. We can give it different sizes. And we're going to have an option for an ending arrow. All right, so I'm going to go points undo and redo. Okay. So we're just gonna, let's do this. Okay, now I surely forgot to change some things. Nope. Nope. My tea. Yes, well, look. I like it strong. I'm drinking decaf tea right now, and I'm double bagging it because it's so weak. But that actually was the right time to take it out. All right, so we're still not drawing the future yet. So what I want to do is, well, I mean, okay, here's what we can do. No check-in, reduce the copy pasta. I'm just going to slam it down. I'm going to hammer slammers. Whoops. Like that. So we have next move, and then we have if next move, we do all this stuff, but it's different. So this is going to be points redo. All right. This is going to be true. I'll put no check-ins on these. And then we'll just factor it together and alter those variables. Oh. Fuck. Okay. No. No. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, I think something like that. Now the thing is, our next move calculus is... Do I drink tea for taste, caffeine, both? I don't really notice caffeine that much. Whoa. That's not right. What is happening here? We are clearly doing something wrong. Oh. Because we're not doing the redos correct. Yeah, okay. We're starting with the wrong entity copy. Sag. Ultra Sag. Yeah, I don't notice caffeine that much. I mean, I do think it affects me. It just doesn't affect me in any way that I notice or is pleasurable or anything. So it's mostly for taste and to have something to do. Okay. Um, what? Did I delete that code? That's badge. We need a badge emote, really. I totally deleted that within the past half hour. Badge. Hey, there we go. So we can go forward or backward. These colors are actually kind of ugly right here. But anyway. Badge. Okay, so anyway, though, the colors are a bit ugly, but I think we put our ending arrow and we're golden. Well, and then we factor the thing together. All right, so reduce the copy pasta. Reduce the copy pasta, please. You're gonna see some good stuff there. All right, anyway. Here we're gonna do ending arrow. Let's just do this for a second. Make sure we got that right. Ending arrow. Oh, I frickin' capped the A. Easy cap. Good. Good. That was good. Okay. There we go. So now we just need to make that an arrow, an arroz. 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 If starting dot, else if ending arrow, then I don't know. Circle on wrong side again. No, that was not what we were doing. There we go. Oh, we got an arrow. I did it right the first time. However, our arrow is not maybe the right aspect ratio. Yeah, I was just using the circle as a placeholder. That's all we were doing. Look at that. That's a little big, maybe. It's a little big. Yeah, we want to change the entity ID for that guy. Like when you're between guys, we want to put the yellow in the basket or it gets the hose again. You know what I'm saying? Would it look better if the tip of the arrow was centered on the square? You know, it might. It might. Problem is, we can't quite do that because we already drew the segment and we're a little bit sag. Really, I think you kind of want the barycenter of the... You want the triangle to be resting in the middle of the square. We're not going to try to exactly do that, but I do agree with you that it's too far, right? So let's do this. That's too far. Like, so we're going to cut that amount of pullback in half. That's pretty good. I mean, you know, for something that we're not really trying to make look nice yet. Okay. So now we just have to go, when you're between characters, we need to do it. We need to do it with different IDs. Different IDs. All right. We're up to 1,000 lines in this file, everybody. That's great. Though we're going to try to compress it a little bit again. Okay. Action.entityID is equal to ID. This is going to be ID redo. Let's call it ID next. Right. Okay. Wait, what? I accidentally deleted that. Lol. Wait, what even was it? Why am I looking at the wrong project? Does this work with vertical? I just haven't bothered billboarding it, as I have explained already during the stream. Like, it's easy to do. I just didn't do it because I don't care yet, because we're not sure that we're going to do this. So this is a little bit hard to read because the arrow's underneath the gem. Like we would probably make a shader where you could see it through the objects a little bit or something, but you know. So here we're switching characters. Here we're switching characters, right? So if you redo, he goes forward. If you undo, she goes back there. GG's. I think this is pretty good for now. We really did something, and so the question is, I guess we just play with this for a while and see if we like it, if it's worth doing the high production value version. There's still a couple tweaks I need to do. Let's do one of them right now. The fact that this teleport is not the right thing. Well, this says undo icon teleport. So why does it say take gem? That's pretty weird. I feel like it didn't used to say that. Feel like it didn't used to say that. All right. I mean, we set it to frickin' teleport. Hope the array. Oh, we got to refactor this together still. Okay. But let's look at this. I think you would rather have them under the characters. The game is not motherfucking done. God damn it. Like, yes, I probably would draw them under the characters if I could do that. It's hard to do that, actually, a little bit. Or it's at least, it's hard enough that, like, yeah, obviously we don't want it to look like this, okay? Obviously, that is not how it should look. I just get so frustrated with games not done comments. And I know people don't necessarily mean it that way, but it's just nonstop. And like, if you understood how many hours of work I've put into this game and how hard it is, and for people to come along and say, this thing isn't done. It's like, God damn it. I know it's not done. I know it's not done. If it was done, I wouldn't have to be working on it. So yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's my life, I guess. No idea it was more difficult than changing a Boolean. It is much more difficult than changing a Boolean. Much more difficult. Like you may note that right now on the screen, it is on top of some entities and underneath other entities. Why is that? How does that make any sense? Yeah, if I could just change the Boolean is game done to be true or false, that would be really convenient, honestly. Because I would leave it false for a while, you know, and then just one day I'd get up and I'd say, today's the day, and we change the Boolean is game done equals true. Today's the day. What is the Z index problem? You'd write the test that checks the game done Boolean. Oh no! No, not the test. Oh, that's what you're talking about. So the problem is the following. When everybody switches to ray tracing, this will all be much easier, right? Because draw order won't matter. You just declare your stuff into the scene and you ray trace the shit out of it and it's fine, right? Until that happens and draw order is a thing, then either you have to do things in the right order or you need to do one of these, you know, like order independent Z things, which are like kind of expensive and, you know, still have artifacts and stuff. So that's a thing. You can definitely look at or order independent blend, alpha blend, right? You can look up like order independent alpha blend and all that kind of stuff, and it'll be a thing. New Yandex. 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 Sorry for anyone who has kids who was watching when I said the game's not done. Maybe we should try to beat Christian Stream. Maybe that would be better for everybody. Christian Stream. Yum, 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 yummity, yum. It's like a dream. Yum, yum. Yum, yum, yummity, yum. In your ice cream. Okay. My brain is losing concentration now because I forgot completely what we were doing with the Yandex. I'm just looking at the way these lines meet, and even though this isn't supposed to be final, I do want to put a little circle on the yellow to make a match. Right? Okay, let's just do that. And then we'll factor these together, and then what happens after that, I don't know. So we're going to do this. And if it index is equal to 1, okay, if small redo circle size is greater than 0, PA yum 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 yummity yum. It's like a dream. How's that? That's pro. Look at that. Professional. That's professional. Yum, 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 yummity, yum. It's like a dream. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yummity, yum. Okay, so now we factor the ugly copy pasta. Now we factor the ugly copy pasta. First, I shall put this into a function. I shall say collect trail, collect points, undo cursor, move.index 0, true for is undo, and ID. And we'll see what else we need. Collect points is going to be index start, index end, and is undo, which is polymorphed, and an ID. And we're just gonna do this. This is gonna go reverse equals is undo. Reverse equals is undo. Index start. Index end. Yandex end. Okay. Okay. Yum, yum, yum. Yum. Yummity yum. We need retraces. Screw it, we'll pass it. Whoops, what? Why did I do that? All right, so let's hope I didn't break anything. And if I didn't break anything, we could see if I changed everything that needs to be changed. Backwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, 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 backwards. Yum, 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 yummity, yum. So that seems fine. Okay, so collect points can now go down here. Okay. Why is the teleport? That's what I was thinking about. Unknown, walk, push, pull, charm, transmute, teleport. I don't know. We'll have to investigate that one. Anyway, collect points. Okay. We got this one. We got this one. Points. Manager, undo cursor +1. Right. Next move index 1. False. ID next retraces. Okay. So we got this one. We got this one. We got that one. We got that one. I think we got everything. Who knows? A sin undo for the Christian stream. I mean, I am not ordained to produce sin undos. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I fucked it up again though. Because we're passing the wrong entity again, I think, or something. Hang on. Okay, collect points. Wait, maybe we didn't get the clone. Ah, yeah. Okay. So this is all working pretty good. Who says Christians can't program? Not me. We all know about some very particular Christians with very particular interesting worldviews who could program a little bit. All right. So this is all working. Yum, 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 yummity, yum. Okay, so let's just figure out this teleport dealy. What is the deal with airplane food? Like if I switch to Wizard, Mr. Wizard, and he teleports, do we know that's a teleport? We think it's a gem lift. Why? Sag. Sag. Let's go to the drawing board. Wait, are we in debugger? We're not. Substreams. Okay. Boom. Yum, 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 yummity, yum. Okay. What are we doing? We are wondering why, if we go to the side boob file, why is the texture map okay? We have character index. We're really down here. Action map. Undo icon teleport. Oh, do we have multiple under different file extensions? No. You know what? This is an asset caching problem. Probably. Let's see. where do we write out our... undo icon teleport dot texture. Okay, I delete this. It's no longer okay. This isn't smart enough when you press delete on it to actually delete from the view. Okay, so now we're loading. Okay. We completed compressing it. Okay. Hey, look, it was an asset processing problem. Yay. Okay. Great. That is then therefore everything I wanted to do today. Finish drawing line segments in undo UI. Oh no, we got sidetracked. Reduce the copy pasta. I did that. Look, there's no copy pasta left. Why are you blaming me? The game's not done. Come on. The game's not done. Well, everybody, I think that has been our stream tonight. Thank you for coming by. I'm glad that we could do good UI things. There's a couple tiny things left that I want to do there, but for the most part, it is good. What's the next major tackle? I mean, I'm still trying to finish the compiler Documentapalooza and deliver that value to the people, which it would be a good idea if I do that by Tuesday before I get on a plane. So maybe tomorrow is documentation day again. And then, who knows? Let's see if there's somebody to raid. We haven't done a raid in a long time. Let me find out. Who is in software and game development? Indie Tales. Adam C. Eunice. We have rated him a lot, though. He is doing some kind of presentation. Lurk Zone. OBS and stream setup things. That's okay. Stardew Sky. We've rated him. PR review for Far North. That's great. Generating C with JavaScript. Bad idea. Chill stream. Card game MMO. A dependency management. First. Look at all the choices we have. Look at all the choices. PHP. What is going on here? Is this going to go to programming? Or this one? No, it's just all right. She probably started streaming. No, she's got too much stuff to be a new streamer, so she's configuring her stuff. I don't know. JDude TV, most interactive and chaotic stream on Twitch. What is TS? TypeScript. All right. If he weren't programming in JavaScript, we might try it. But he's programming in JavaScript, so rip. 16 plus. This guy only wants 16 plus people. I don't know, guys. You know, we could go to Adam C. Eunice again, because we haven't rated him in a while. And oh, he'll be right back. I mean, maybe that's fine. What's going on in Lurk Zone? Portal World Space Clip Burst. Lurk Zone's a possibility. Add component. I'm adding components to Adam C. Eunice's game, but it's resizing the screen for some reason. Frickin' Unity. How am I supposed to make my entity component system if I can't even add a component? All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to raid Adam C. Eunice, but he's going to be gone during the raid, so you can do very nice chaos while he's gone. See you later.